I'm going to change my camera view, so I'm going to disappear for a few seconds, but I am still here. If something happens, occasionally, on Monday we had a bit of a problem with the stupid thing, and I lost all kind of I lost everybody off Zoom. So if that happens, I'm on Instagram, so you can find me on there live as well. So we're going to start off with our feet underneath our hips, lift our toes, bring in our thighs, think about our pelvic floor, pull that in. Then think about our stomach muscles, pull them back, shoulders back and down, chin back. Breathe in, lifting the arms up, and breathe out, bringing the arms down. Just getting rid of all the day, so breathing in all the goodness, all our blessings, and breathing out all the rubbish that we see on the TV, on social media. Being thankful for the breath, for our life, for our families, for everybody that we love to be around us. And breathing out all the nasty things through life. Let's do 3 more. And then we're going to breathe in and just bring our breathing back to normal, bring our shoulders back. So from here, we're just going to bring our head forwards and backwards. So we're breathing out as we're tucking it down. We're breathing in as we're taking it back. Breathing out on the way down and breathing on the way up. So 2 more forwards, 2 more back. And then bringing it back to centre. So we're going to tick-tock the head from side to side. And again, just feeling them neck stretches right through the head. Feel the loosening through the neck. And then bringing it back to centre. So turning the chin, looking over, and then over to the other side. Feeling it stretching through the neck, through the chin, through the head. And then bringing it back to centre. So we're going to do the same thing with our lower body. We're going to roll down. So we're taking our hands above our head, gripping our elbows. We're going to breathe out and take it down. We can bend our knees if we want to, but we can stay here and just let it stay here, or we can move a little bit with it, as if we're being blown by the wind. And just letting everything drop forward. We're going to bring ourselves to our centre, bend our knees, let our hands drop and roll up through the spine. Good, so we're going to do 1 more of those. So taking the arms above the head, stretch the arms up, bend the knees if you feel you need to. Pull the stomach in, go down, keeping them arms above in line with the head. If you want to move, move. If you don't, then don't. And then we're bringing ourselves back to centre, letting our arms drop and rolling up. Lovely. So we're taking our hands to our lower back, pulling our shoulders back, and as we breathe in, pushing the hips forward, leaning back. Don't let the head just drop back. Make sure you control that head. But bring them shoulder blades together. Lovely. And then we're going to breathe out to bring it back up. So we're going to see if we can take our hands away and we're going to bring them behind our back. If this feels too uncomfortable, remember, leave it there. So we're pushing the hips forward, we're pushing back, we're pulling them shoulder blades together. We're breathing into the stomach, all the way up to the chest, feeling it open through the shoulders as we breathe in. It feels as if it wants to push our shoulders backwards. And then we're breathing out to bring it back up. So we're going to take it over to the side. We're bringing our arms up and we're having them above our head. Now make sure that their shoulders are not lifting up by the ears, that you're pulling the shoulders down. And again, you may feel that the shoulder blades will want to come back towards each other. So we're pulling them back and pulling them down. From here, we're breathing in and kind of stretching through the rib cage, but not through the shoulders. And then as we breathe out, we're going to reach over to the side. Try not to lean forward. Keep pulling the shoulders back so that you're sideways. You're breathing into the bottom of the lung and it should feel as if it's pushing you a little bit up. As you're breathing out, it should feel as if it's pushing and relaxing on this side. Then we're going to breathe in to lift back up again. We're going to breathe out, reach over to the other side. So our feet are flat on the floor. We're not lifting or dropping any part of the foot, so we're not dropping the inside of the sole of the foot. We're keeping that lifted and pushing down through the outside edge of the little toe on that leg. And then we're breathing in, coming back up. We can take them arms down. So we're going to take it up again, breathing in. Pulling them shoulders back and down and breathing out, reaching over. Feeling that reach up through the spine. And then breathing in to bring it back up. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, reaching over the other side. Feeling that reach and stretch all the way up as you're breathing, and it feels as if it's pushing you. As you breathe out, it feels as if you're being pushed in and relaxed from this side. And breathe in, breathe out. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to twist. We're lifting up. Now remember, if it's too much on your shoulders, you feel it's kind of too much, take the arms out. They don't have to be up. So it's up to you. Work with your body. I'm just taking it as hard really, but you don't have to go that hard. So we're working from the waist. We're going to rotate round to the side, but we're still keeping them feet flat on the floor. We're not letting them roll in or out. We're breathing into the front of the lung that we're turning towards and the back of the lung we're turning away from. So we're getting a diagonal breath through the body. The breath in, we're stretching up through the rib cage, but not the shoulders. So it's the rib cage that lifts, not the shoulders. And then we're breathing out, we're going to spin back round to the front. Again, we're going to breathe in from the rib cage and breathe out, take it round to the other side. Diagonal breathing. Stretching up on the breath in, stretching round a little bit more on a breath out. And then we're breathing out as we bring it back, bringing the arms down. Lovely. One more time, breathing. Stretching the shoulders back, breathe out to turn. Feel that diagonal breath. And then we're breathing out, bringing it round. Breathing in to stretch up through the ribs. Breathe out, take it round to the other side. And then breathing out. Lovely. Brilliant. So let's work them shoulders a bit more. We're going to take our arms and bring them up and take them out. So we're taking them round in a nice circle. Breathing in and breathing out. And we're working them shoulders. We'll feel it through the arms, through the back at the same time. And then we're going to take it in the opposite direction. So we're turning the thumbs backwards. We're breathing in to lift up and breathing out to reach back. But we're not reaching back with it. We're keeping our body nice and straight. But think about how them shoulder blades are moving. And we're going to do one more. And bring it down. Give your arms a little shake. Move the weight onto one leg if you need to hold on to something. And we're taking that leg forwards and backwards to get this hip starting to work. Remember to keep that body nice and straight. We don't want to reach forwards and backwards with it. We want to just move the leg as much as it wants to go. But we don't want the foot turning out. We don't want the hip going out to the side. And then we're bringing it down and we're going to change sides. So again, moving all the weight over, pull the muscles of the stomach in and bringing it forwards and backwards. Like I said, if you want to hold on to something, you can. If you're not holding on to anything, focus, find something to look at and keep looking at that. And we're bringing it back down. So we're going to take it across the body. So flexing the foot, take it across and out to the side. Again, if you want to hold on to something, you always can. And bringing it down. Now remember, if you are holding on to something, make sure that you turn around, otherwise you'll kick the wall as you on the next one. That's it, good. So taking it out and to the side. And we're bringing it down. From here, bringing your feet together. Try and get the toes, the knuckles of the toes to touch, and you want to fan your toes out. So you're trying to stretch them out as much as they can go. If you can do a Mexican wave, even better. If not, don't worry. You're going to lift the toes and so that you engage them knees and the thighs and squeeze the legs together. Squeeze the bum, squeeze the thigh, pull the pelvic floor in. shoulders back, turn the thumbs backwards and bring the hands up. Now, if they can touch, brilliant. If they can't, don't worry. You're going to imagine someone's got your hand and they're going to start pulling your hands up towards the ceiling. They're going to start pulling the shoulders up towards the ear. You'll feel the rib cage lifting up towards the armpits, and then the waist will start to stretch. Then the hips will start to stretch, then the knees, and then you're going to come up onto your tiptoes and try and hold it. Lovely. And then we're going to take it down. So bring the arms down as well. Lovely. We're going to do the same thing again. So we're lifting them arms up. We're bringing the hands together if they can, but we're being pulled. So now it's like the last one where I was saying, keep your shoulders away. You can bring the shoulders up, but feel the pull as if you're being pulled up. So every inch from the arms, the elbows, the shoulder underneath the pit start to feel they're stretching. The rib cage starts to open. You feel that stretch through the waist. You feel the stretch through the hips. You feel the stretch through the knees. And then suddenly the heels start to lift off the floor. It just becomes a normal progression to lift up. But you still feel as if you're being pulled upwards, but your toes are just touching the floor. And then we're going to bring it all the way down. Beautiful. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So I'm just going to lower this camera slightly because you're kind of missing my foot. Right, you may lose my head. Don't worry, it's not that exciting. Your feet are much better. So we're going to go through sun salutation. Remember, it's just twice. So we bring ourselves to the front of our mat. Now, we had our feet together. Sometimes it's actually better, especially for women, to have our legs in line with our hips rather than together because our hips are quite hippy. So you may find that it's nicer to balance with them apart. Nice shake there, thank you, Alex. Little booty shake, lovely, thank you very much. So we're bringing ourselves all in, bringing our shoulders back and down. Bring our hands into prayer. Close your eyes if you can, so that you feel as if you're moving around, then you can always look towards the floor, but try to keep everything as tight as possible. And in this position, mounting, every muscle is working in the body. So even though it feels like you're doing nothing, you are doing everything. All our balance, as we get older, we start to lose it. But if you can still do mounting, you'll find that your balance still stays the same the older we get. So we're going to breathe in and lift our arms up and reach back. As I fall over, my balance has gone. Breathe out, bring the hands down to a forward bend. Now, if your back starts to bend, remember you can bend your knees. Otherwise, try and keep it nice and straight, head down. We're going to lift up to a half bend. Shoulders pull back, the chest pushes forward, the shoulders are pulling back. We're trying to get a nice straight back through our lower back spine. Take the hands down. We're going to step back with our right foot onto your tiptoes, drop the hips, lift to the knee or lift up, and lifting into lunging warrior. We're bringing the hands down and stepping back to down dog. Come up onto your tiptoes as you breathe in and push the belly in towards the legs. As you breathe out, roll forward into plank. From here, we're dropping our chest and then lifting up into up facing dog. So you can keep them knees down, you can lift them up, you can lift one or two or stay in cobra. Step back into down dog. Lift the left leg up in the air and you'll find that the heel of the right foot will go down a little bit further. Bring the knee into your chest, look forward and step the foot between your hands. If it doesn't go, remember, put your knee down, bring it up. Drop that hip. Then if you can, lift the arms up. Lovely. Bring the hands down and step into a forward bend. Bend the knees, stretch the arms, breathe in, lift up. Here we go. Breathe out, take it to forward bend. Breathe in, lift to half bend. Breathe out, step back with that left foot. Breathe in, lift to lunging warrior. Breathe out, step back to down dog. Breathe in, up onto tiptoes. Breathe out into plank. Breathe in to cobra. Breathe out, back to down dog. Breathe in, lift the right leg up. Breathe out, step it through your hands. Breathe in, lift to lunging warrior. Breathe out, step to full bend. And breathe in, bending the knees, lift it, reaching back. And breathing out to bring it back to mountain. Lovely. Should be nice and warm. I'm going to grab my drink. So where are we? Oh yes. So we're going to take it into down dog and we're going to work our stomach muscle. So we're going to do a down dog crunch. What you can do is watch first. We're taking it down onto the floor, onto all fours, bringing our legs up, ourselves back into down dog. We're lifting one leg up. We're going to bend the knee in so that it touches our elbow. Taking it back, twist to the other elbow, and then lift back up and touch the nose. And then we're going to do the other side. Now remember your fingers, if you need to at any time, you come back down onto your knees and have a rest. You can give your hands a rub, but you're trying to push with your fingertips. Okay? We're going to do 5 sets on one leg, and then we're going to do 5 on the other. You can stop at any time, and you can rest at any time. Okay? I'm going to count. So a set is elbow, elbow, nose. That's a set. That's 1. So, and we're going to do the same on each leg. So we're getting ourselves ready. We're tucking our toes. We're lifting ourselves to down dog. Whenever we want to finish, we come back down to our knees. If we start with our right foot, we're going to lift the foot up in the air. We're bringing it in so that the knee is coming towards the elbow. If it doesn't touch, it doesn't matter. We're pushing back. We're trying to bring it towards the opposite elbow and we're pushing back. We're bringing it in towards our nose and we're pushing back. That's 1 set. Let's go. Breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in. That's 2. Breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out. That's 3. Breathe out. Breathe out. Breathe out. That's 4. Last set. And then bring the foot down if you want. Drop down. Give your hands a little rest. Give them a little rub. How did we get on? Was that all right? So last set, on the other leg, we're doing it on the other leg. Remember, I don't make you do too much. So here we go, lifting up. Get ourselves ready. Bring that left leg up in the air. Into your elbow and back. Into the opposite elbow and back. Into your nose and back. Elbow. Opposite. Nose. 2. Elbow. Opposite. Nose. 3. Opposite. Elbow. Sorry, opposite. Nose. 4. Last one. Up, knee. And bring it down. Give your arms a shake. Lovely. So that is a great, again, there's loads of ones that you can do when you're upside down, but when you're doing that, as well as loosening all the muscles through the back, it starts to release all the muscles through the back because you're up the other way around. So again, if you've been sitting all day, it helps with that. But all at the same time, it's working your stomach muscles, your shoulders and your arms, so everything gets worked. Great exercise. So we're going to take it into bent leg triangle. And from our knees. So having our hands down, you're going to bring your right foot forward. Let me just change that camera. So I'm changing my camera. That's better. That's better. So, you bring your right foot forward. Now you're going to breathe out and try and pull your belly in as much as you can. And then you're going to try and get your elbow to the opposite side and have it round by your bum. Now the other hand can go thumbs down and can go onto your back. And you can tuck your toe and see if you can lift that back knee off. We've lost Amy. I don't know where we've lost Amy to. So you're just holding it here. Looking over the back shoulder, letting the hips drop down. And you'll feel the stretch right through the psoas muscle. And you'll feel it pulling along your stomach, so you're inside. Now we're going to bring that back knee down. And we're going to curl ourselves back out. Now these are great for helping to relieve wind in the stomach, but also to eliminate anything trapped inside our bowels. So don't be, like I said, the sounds are all off. If I go, you can all hear me. So from here, we're bringing our elbow, again, breathing out, pull that belly in, bring ourselves round. Take the hand down by your bum. Then the back leg, or take the hand behind your back, the back leg, tuck the toe, and push the knee up. Hold it there. Letting your body just drop down. And then we're bringing the knee down. And we're uncurling ourselves and pushing back. So let's try the other side. We'll see if we can move these arms a bit more. So again, knee down. Squeeze the belly in. Move the boobs if I need to bring them over the other side of the leg. Take that hand. Now, instead of having it down, you can turn it up. Oh, let me let her in. Amy. So with this, you're turning the thumb up and then you're seeing if you can bring the arm up. Now, if it feels too much or if it starts to go out like that, so Sati, if it comes out, take it back in. Otherwise, it's just going to hurt your arm. So we're holding ourselves. If we can get it up there, we get it up there. But if not, don't worry. Again, we're tucking that toe and we're lifting. Keep dropping them hips. Keep breathing, trying to lift that arm up. High back aims. And then we're going to take the arm down. We're going to take our knee down. We're bringing ourselves back to the centre. So the minute that arm starts to move, it starts to add a little bit more pressure. But you'll feel it trying to push you backwards. And that's what it wants to do. But if your knee's there stopping it, then instead of it pushing you round, it could pop the shoulder out. So if you find that your arm's not going up, then take it out, take it down. Don't pop your arm out just to get into a position. So again, squeeze that stomach muscle in. If you need to bring them across, bring the hand over. Take that hand that was on your back, thumbs up so the shoulder rolls backwards, and you're lifting it up in the air. Make sure you feel okay here before you think about tucking the toe and lifting the knee. And you're dropping the hips. Now with this, like I said, you're working the waistline. You're also breathing. Every time you're breathing, you're pushing against the leg. So you're massaging the stomach muscles. And then we're bringing the arm down. We're taking the knee down. We're bringing ourselves back round. Good. What am I doing? Kneeling gaze. So bring yourself back up onto your knees. We're going to do kneeling gaze. So from here, you're taking the leg out and the toes will be turned in. You want to turn the toes upwards and then place the toe down. You're leaning your hand against your leg, or you can take it away if you want to. The other hand, the thumb's going up. It's lifting up in the air. And then we're breathing out and reaching over. So again, don't let that body turn. Keep pulling it backwards. Breathe into this top rib here. And then we're going to breathe in, lift. And as we breathe out, lift that toe, turn it back to the front, bring it back underneath. So I'm going to try the other side. I'm moving over here so you can see my foot. You can stay where you are. So the foot comes up, the toes point, and then we place them flat down. We're lifting the opposite arm, thumb goes up. We're breathing in, stretching up. We're breathing out, moving over. And then lifting back up. So this time as we go, so again, bring that toe up, turn it round, bring it in, so that we're protecting that knee. Now with this one, we're going to do the same, lifting up, reaching over, but then we're going to let ourselves come down into this position with the toes coming up. So we're going into a seated gate pose. If you can't do that, then you're going to stay, I'll just drop that down a little bit more. If you can't do it, then you stay where you are. So we're turning the foot up and we're pushing it out and we're bringing ourselves down so that we're sitting down. The back foot should be kind of stuck under. If it's out, don't worry about it, but try and keep it under if you can. So we've got the toe coming up this time instead of pointing down. The same thing, we're lifting up and we're reaching over. So remember, if you can't go into it, then stay in the first one. It's still seated, it's still gated pose, exactly the same, just slightly further down. And then we're lifting up, breathing in. we're going to bring our hands to the front. You're lifting yourself back onto your knee. You're turning that foot back in. You're bringing it back out. So exactly the same way we went in, we come out. You move over. So the foot goes up, the toes are pointing up. We're pushing it out and we're bringing ourselves down or staying wherever we want to. The toes still pointing upwards. Now move over. Breathe in. Breathe out, reach over. Now you can bring this hand, it can go underneath, it can go alongside as long as that top hand is by your ear. It's not rolling round. And then breathing in, lift. Hands to the front. We're coming up onto the knee. We're bringing the foot round. We're taking it back under. Lovely. So we're going to take it into camel pose. Now you can have your toes flat down on the floor. You can tuck your toes up. Or you can have a block underneath. Whatever you want. We're going to do it 2 times single and 2 times double. So 1 on each side, single, and then 2 times double. That way, if somebody wants to just do single, they can stay with single. If you want to do double, we can do double. But we do double twice. Okay? I think that means it makes more sense. So we're going to start with our right hand. You're going to place your left hand, and like I said, you can have your toes up if you want, it makes it easier. Place your left hand against your hip and you're pushing forward. You're looking up, lifting the arm, and then reaching it round, placing it on the heel, and lifting the other arm up in the air. Pushing the hips forward. Lovely. Breathing again into the front of the hips. You should feel it stretching out. And then we're going to bring that hand up in the air and push it forward. And it'll bring us up to standing. Back up to seated, I mean. So we're going to do the other side. So we're pushing in with the right hand, lifting the left hand up, reaching it all the way over, lifting the other hand up into the air. Reach it backwards. So it's not in the air, you're reaching that hand back, you're pushing them hips forward. And then we're going to bring the right hand forward. It'll guide us all the way back up. So I'm going to do it twice, but double. And I'm taking my toes down. You can keep your toes up if you want. The same thing. You're pushing forward with the left hand, bringing the arm round. Then that hand that you brought up, you're going to see if you can bring it all the way round and place it back onto the other heel. Letting the head drop back. Holding it here. Lovely. You're throwing some beautiful shapes there against the sunshine. Now from here, we're going to drop our bum down in between our heels. And we're going to roll forward into a child position. But our hands are still back by our feet. Our legs should be slightly open so our boobs and our belly kind of drop through the middle of our legs. And we're going to bring ourselves back up. Now, if you can, you hold onto your heels and you're going to lift yourself back up and then see if you can pop your hips up. If you can't, then go back and bring it back from the same position. You're trying to pop the hips back out. Hold it there. And again, we're going to drop them hips in between our heels and we're going to roll forward. Now, even though this is child position and we do it all the time and relaxing, it started in this one with the legs open. You'll feel that it kind of opens up your hips and again helps to release any gases caught up in the belly. So we're going to bring ourselves up and then we're sitting with our legs slightly apart. From here, we're bringing our tiptoe up and then our other tiptoe up. And we're bringing our heels together if we can, but leaving our arms out. Now, if you can get your heels down, great, but don't worry about it if you can't. You're going to walk the hands slightly forward and let the head drop down. This is a garland pose. So we're walking the hands forward, we're letting the head drop. And we're imagining that we've got a weight on the base of our spine and it's kind of dropping our spine towards the floor. And then we're going to walk our hands back in and lift ourselves up. So our feet, even my heels aren't touching the floor, but we're just holding them there. We're going to walk back out again. So we're pushing them legs out so they're coming out as far as they can go. And we're walking the hands forward, letting the head drop down. As well as doing that, we're starting now to work these knees a little bit more as well. So this is normally, I would never tell you to do this by having the knees over the top of the the feet, because we're extra stretching them knees, but we have to do that for the last one. So we're walking them hands in. Now we're going to take it into our normal squat. So we see we can take our feet out and get the heels flat. And then we push with our arms against our knees and hold it there, letting our bottom drop down. Now, if you want, you can move side to side. If that feels no, can't do it, it hurts my knees too much, it hurts my hip too much, just staying here in one place is fine. You can stay in one place. But again, that tiny little movement, you'll feel it right into the ankles, you'll feel it into the kneecaps, you'll feel it into the hips. It can be any kind of movement you want. You can wiggle it around, or you can just go side to side. You can bounce it. You can bounce and move. And again, it's just starting to get the ligaments and the fibres that hold our skin to our muscle and our things to our bones to settle down. So from here, the nicest way to come out of this is to go into a forward bend. We put our hands down, we bend forward, we turn our toes in, and we let ourselves drop down. And that should feel lush. Let the body just dangle here. Feel the hips just kind of, ooh, yeah, go in the opposite direction, giving a pull. And then from there, we're going to bring ourselves back down onto the floor. So from here, we're going to take ourselves into a lying hero. Well, we'll start off in hero pose and we'll move from there. So you want to bring your legs out. So we're bringing our legs back under. This is hero's pose, sitting on our knees and our feet flat down. For some people, this is a killer. So you might want a blanket or a pillow. But now we're going to start to open the legs. So we're going to start by taking the legs out and then we're taking the feet out and seeing if we can get our bum to go down to the floor. So I'm going to turn around so you can see my bum. So we've gone from here, we took the legs out, we took the feet out. And now we're trying to get our bum to come down. Now it may be that it kills, and you might find that you can only do it, you can have to put a block underneath, and that'd be fine for now, just so that the thighs and the hips and the bottom of the feet get stretched. A cushion, a pillow, does the same thing. But you're trying to get your bum flat down. What you don't want is with your feet, is for your feet to start going in this direction. So they can't be pointing out, the toes have to be pointing back. You may find that if you get your hand and you run your hand along your skin, it kind of makes it a little nicer. Sounds weird, but actually does work. But you're trying to get yourself down into this position so that your bum's flat on the floor. You're rolling your shoulders back. Now we've got to just stay here. There isn't much you can do. But like I said, if you want, you can always put a cushion underneath or a block so that your legs just get used to it. But I wanted to stay here just for a few seconds, and then we're going to come out to down dog, which is our relax out of this, but we are going to come back into it again. So when you need to come out, you put your hands down, you tuck your toes and jump into down dog. Give them legs a little walk, and it'll be like, oh yeah, that's nice. And you'll feel the blood rushing back into them knees, into them ankles. It should feel lovely. So again, we're going to bring ourselves down. We're going to sit ourselves down. We're going to open them legs, bring ourselves into this seated position. We're sitting here. We can do things like do our fingers, pinch your fingers, so that you're bringing blood toward your fingertips. You could give your fingers a stretch. So grabbing one finger and kind of pulling it back and flicking it. And you'll feel it stretching the areas down here of the hand. But you want to do something so that you're not thinking, my legs are killing me. So it can be anything that takes your mind off your legs. You sit here and do a crossword, read a book, anything, but try not to think of this. We're going to come out again. Hands down, tuck your legs, jump. And it should feel as if you want to jump up. The legs just want to spring out of that position. Let them walk. So we're taking it down. We're coming back. Now, this is our last one, and this is the one that you may need a pillow for. You'd never go straight into this unless you've done a little bit of work on them knees. So I don't need a pillow, but if you need one, they're there. We're going to start with one leg. So you're going to take one leg out and you're going to have one leg down. And again, this leg has to be underneath. It can't be turning out. From here, you start to lean back. Then you'll find that you may need to lift your hip because it's kind of tucked underneath. Tilt it under and lean back. You may get to your elbows. You may have to tilt that pelvis again, and then you lean back until you can get your body flat down and you can push them knees down. You'll find that the arch in your spine is there, but the more you relax into it, the more everything drops down. Now to get out, you use them arms and you grab under your bum, bring yourself back to your elbows, bring yourself back to your hands. Okay? So shall we have a go? If you haven't already had a go, let's do the other leg. Like I said, you never know what you might be able to do. So we're taking the leg behind. We're making sure that our hips are nice and straight. So we're not sticking our one hip up in the air. It's nice and flat. We're making sure that leg is nice and flat and the foot's facing backwards. We're taking our hands back and we're just tilting our pelvis a little. We're seeing if we can go down 1, Or we might be able to have a block underneath so that our arm isn't all the way down on the floor. We might want a pillow underneath. You can put it like that. And we might just be able to get down into this position. We might find we might have to put a thing underneath our head. But we just want to take ourselves down and try and push the knee down. And then we're going to bring ourselves up. So again, either bring yourself to your elbows, grab your bum, lift yourself back up. So one more time each side. Because the first time the body goes, what the hell are you doing? The second time it's like, oh, you didn't break me. I'm okay. So again, reaching back, bringing it back, sliding it down, taking it all the way down, letting the body relax down. Once you're in it, it's quite a nice stretch, but it stretches right at the front of the body. It's quite a nice opener for the hip, opener for the knees and the ankles. And then we're going to bring ourselves back out. So lifting ourselves up and changing legs. Last one. So making sure that hip's nice and straight. Taking it back. Tilting, tilting, rolling down. Letting the leg drop down. Let the body relax. Breathe into the nose and out of the nose. Let the body relax on a breath out. And then we're bringing ourselves back out and bringing our legs forward. So from here, to do a relax for this, we're going to pull the toes backwards towards us. So they're going in the opposite direction. And we're going to lift up, breathe in. And as we breathe out, bring the hands down by the side. Grab the side of the legs. Pull the stomach in, bend forward. Push the knees down. Try not to let the head drop and the shoulders drop. Keep the body nice and straight so that you feel it from that lower back. You feel it right down through the legs. Take it to there rather than the back. And then we're going to breathe in, lift up. And we're going to do one more. Breathe out. Hands down by the side. Keep the shoulders down. Pull the belly in. Bring the body down. Keep pulling them toes back towards you. And then breathe in, lift. Breathe out, bring it down. So if we bring our legs into cross leg, we're just going to do our breathing exercise to relax down. The one that we were doing, I did on Friday, was we're doing chin mudra. So our thumb and our index finger come together and they're touching. The other fingers point out. This is, the thumb is our spirituality. The finger is us, and it's our connection between the spirituality and ourselves. We're letting that place down on our legs and we're kind of pushing out so that the shoulders pull back, the chest is pushing forward. Now, with this mudra, we're breathing just into our lower stomach, our lower part of our lungs. So as we breathe in and out, we feel the stomach move, but we don't feel any movement through the chest. We're going to breathe in through the nose, breathe out. As we breathe in, we're going to count 1. As we breathe out, we count 2. We're going to do that up to 10, and then we start again. Now, any thoughts that come into our head, we're going to try and label them thoughts. And then you can always start back at number 1, or you can carry on to number 10 if you want. But always going back to number 10. I'm going to count with us for the first 10, and then I'm going to go silent. I'm going to hopefully do 3, because I'll lose Instagram definitely at the hour. So, hiya Savannah, if I lose you, we're just going to carry on with this, and then you can bring yourself out when you're ready. So we're bringing our shoulders down. We're breathing out to start off. Then we're breathing into the lower abdomen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and back to 1. So any thought that comes into your head, just label it a thought. Our thoughts tend to be our worst enemies. So anything that comes in, just try and label it. Doesn't matter if every time I'm talking you think, oh yeah, that reminds me of this. I want you just to go back and think of your breathing and just label any thought as a thought. Now we're going to lift our hands, we're going to breathe in and breathe out through the mouth. And again, in through the nose. Try and think about filling the whole of the lungs through the back and breathing out. And our last one. Bring the hands together and breathe out. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it.